I think I'll go micro this time. I think let's be the change that we want to see. The smallest of actions that we take, which are environmentally conscious, can play a very important role in collectively bringing about a difference at a macro scale. Small things like switching off the light and fan when we leave the room, switching off our laptops and desktops when they are no longer required, switching off our taps when we are shaving or bathing when water is not required, and segregating garbage between the reusable and the other categories on a daily basis. All of these things can go a very long way in trying to bring about the change that we are working towards. And let us not just target the students. I would also like to underscore that when we are targeting 4.5 crore students in the higher education ecosystem, we are effectively targeting at least 4 family members, which makes it 18 crore individuals that are going to be affected or impacted positively through the 4.5 crore green citizens that we are nurturing in our university campuses. Collectively, that's about 20 to 22 crore students. That's about 1/6 of 22 crore Indians. That is about 1/6 of our population that we can target through our higher education institutions. And as the Vice Chancellor mentioned, if we can further adopt schools and create conscious students in the schools who can then take it to their homes, we are looking at 100 crore people because we have 25 crore students in our schools. So it needs to be a movement of mindset change and of behavioral change, which can then take up a more institutional framework. But at the individual level, we can and should make a difference. And I think as we celebrate 100 years of our independence, we should look back at our freedom struggle, that it is the individual efforts made by freedom fighters, and Ramjas College mentioned about the freedom fighters that we've nurtured, that can play a very important role in a collective movement. I think the same can be said about the green movement that we are all so passionate about. Thank you.
I think what has worked in the country is making it a little competitive. So hearing some of the case studies from colleges here, and there are 10,000, 2,000 only higher education institutions in the country. Can we make it a little more competitive? Can we have a maturity model where somebody is at level 1, where we're just saying tree plantation of trees, versus somebody who's actually at the doorstep of being net zero? So you could have a 5-stage or a 6-stage maturity model. Probably we could propose to work with you in developing this and take it to NITI Aayog and see if we can get every higher education institution in the country to self-assess themselves, and then let's see how it can go forward.
I will be extremely brief. The partnership accelerates achieving targets. Join Smart Campus Cloud Network. It's not a commercial break, but this network, which now goes to 550 universities in 16 countries, those of you who are looking for net zero can get benefit. Those who have achieved something can spread your success around. And those who are still trying to see whether we have achieved or not, I want to say something about it. One thing is, I want to congratulate all of you who has presented there some of the important projects, whether it is a water, solar energy, waste, and many others. There are some innovative ideas. The question is, today we are discussing about net zero. So how each of your actions, whether it is a water conservation or filling the groundwater or making your campus green, how it translates into the emission reduction. And that platform exists with Smart Campus Cloud Network. There is a Green TERRE Foundation, which is a not-for-profit organization. So if you input the data saying that this much percentage of water is recirculated, it gives you emission reduction. And these are not calculated by us. IPCC, the United Nations organization, has given those factors. We put that your data into it, and the digital answer comes that this is your emission. That's number one I want to talk. The other thing is, learning from others is very important. So I feel that the stories which we have got here, they are, I think, the learning exercises. Every week, Smart Campus Cloud Network gives a newsletter which is a compilation of stories around the world on net zero. And they are not about conferences, not about debates, not about panels, but actual work done in the campus. It is called as a Simply Smart. And once you become member of SCCN, you will start getting it every week. The other thing we want to say is the world is changing very fast. Before COP30 in Brazil, we had what is called as a virtual COP30, 1 month before. And the decision made there is, just like we have NDCs, many of you may be knowing, nationally determined contributions, that every country submits it to the United Nations. The decision was made that every university will give or submit UDC. And this is a decision made by the constituency of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So every university will make UDC and send it so that your commitment is already known to others and also to yourself, so that there is a way and determination to go ahead. Finally, I want to say there is a mention of a U75 movement of UGC, which has said that U75 movement, UGC and TERRE Foundation have started together. The 75 universities have been selected so that on Amrit Kal of India, these 75 universities, 75 years and 75 universities, will be able to achieve net zero at the earliest. In case any of your universities, after joining SCCN, want to become part of the U75, we can bulge it, we can make it U100, we can make it U125, whatever it may be. You are welcome to do that. Thank you.
So TERI SAS at this World Sustainable Development Summit has brought together so many higher education institutions who display and demonstrate the examples of net zero transitions, and that's what we aim at, that how these higher education institutions can actually work as an ecosystem to improve the entire journey, entire movement towards net zero. I think all the examples that we heard today at this World Sustainable Development Summit is what we are taking forward, even this publication that we have released today as the transition framework for the net zero. Thank you very much.
So today's event on higher education institutes and net zero, as you can see that lot of excitement here, and from various corners of India, the representative from higher education institutes have come and they have shared their experiences and how their institute they are taking steps to make their institute net zero. Net zero is completely achieving is difficult, but at the same time these small steps will definitely take us to our goals. And we'll use this network of net zero for knowing each other better. And also one other aspect we need to do, those institutes which are doing exceedingly well, they should adopt colleges and the colleges should adopt schools, so that this awareness and the importance of the sustainability we can spread the words, and younger minds and younger people have to take the lead. And at TERI SAS also we are doing exactly the same thing. We are creating the graduates and the leaders for the next generation in the area of sustainability. Thank you.
So thank you to TERI for organizing this World Sustainable Development Summit 2026, where all higher education institutions come together and showcase their best practices. I am from Nalanda University, Manoj Kumar, Executive Engineer, and we have demonstrated the best practices with ancient wisdom and traditional knowledge what we have revived in the revival of Nalanda University. We have developed the world largest net zero campus in terms of net zero energy, net zero water, net zero carbon emission, and more than that, the behavioral practice of the scholars on the campus. With the great effort and initiative of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sachin Chaturvedi, on the campus on a daily basis, we are striving and continuously adding the best practices in terms of banning the fossil fuel vehicles, carbon emission, and many more things. The traditional practices in water management has been a very famous in terms of utilizing a single drop for the rainwater harvesting and reutilizing it. So if Nalanda could not have been opted the net zero, then Nalanda could have been responsible for cutting more than 2.5 lakhs of tree in a year. So that is a showcase that more than 2.5 lakhs of tree we are saving in a year due to energy saving. And in the locality of Nalanda, due to ancient Nalanda Mahavihara, Magad Vihar practice, the Ahar, Pine and Chahal concept, the traditional approach, the water level in the near vicinity, the groundwater has come up, the water table has come up, and that is a great achievement and indirect contribution to the society. So other than the water, energy, the carbon emission that the like ancient Nalanda were managed by 200 villages in the locality. So on the same principle today, with the effort of Honorable Vice Chancellor, we have collaborated with the local villages, and the local villagers and universities working together for the sustainability model. So we have a biodigester, we give compost to the villagers. Villagers come with the organic, organically developed this farming products, vegetables, and they directly sell to the university. They do not need to go to the mandi kind of things. So it's a direct circular economy. We are practicing in the university and around the university, which can be replicated around the world for greatest and big sustainable model in terms of not only the carbon emission, water, energy, but more than that, the daily practice and the behavioral change in the community. Thank you.
So I want to thank TERI for organizing this wonderful event, World Sustainable Development Summit 2026, and for this particular this thematic session, the role of higher education institute in the area of net zero carbon emission. And I am representing from Christ University. So we are explained or showcased our initiative, how we are contributing to the net zero in the form of net zero waste, how we can control the waste generation in the university. For that purpose, we are having two greatest initiative of our university. One is Parivartana and the second one is Solution 360. Through this initiative, our university is mainly working in the area of waste, how we can reduce the waste, recycle the waste, reuse the waste, rethink the waste, and how we can reproduce the waste. So we are mainly following the circular principles in the area of waste management. So once again, I wish to thank TERI for giving this opportunity and all the organizing team for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you so much. Our university has been working towards water recycling. So we recycle around 13,344 kiloliters of water every month. So we are actually reusing that water for gardening and flushing purposes. And also our university is completely dependent on our own electricity generated by the solar panels that are installed on the rooftops of Christ University. So we are committed towards net zero emissions, and we are contributing towards reducing, reusing and recycling. Not just that, we are contributing towards circular economy. And thank you.
I'm from Chandigarh University, and it's a pleasure to be here at this World Sustainable Development Summit. I was here to talk about the sustainability initiatives that have been taken up by our university, and that is where I think a very keen management is making things happen at this scale. There are a lot of things that we are doing about on campus which can relate to the water circularity, reuse of water, reuse of waste, smart mobility. Within the campus movement is entirely on battery driven public transport, public means which have been facilitated by the government, by the university management. We do have 4.5 MLD treatment plants. All the water is recycled. Nothing is, they are either recharged into the ground or else used for irrigation and horticulture. All the wet waste or the solid waste, it's a separation at source collection system. There are 4 bin systems that we are following in the university. We ensure that all the waste gets processed. What we are intending to do is now to build up these this kind of sensibility amongst the students also. And for the past almost 4 years, we've been mapping our courses within different programs with the SDGs. And we are working on a metric so that we are able to evaluate the impact that it's going to have on the net zero transition. Apart from that, there are new buildings coming up, there are older buildings. For the older buildings, we are entering into a retrofitting aspect. For the current buildings and the new buildings, we are setting up targets for energy saving so that we can move smoothly onto a net zero transition. I think the challenge that we are facing now is to sensitize a large crowd of faculty and students who can proactively contribute towards the movement within a framework which can create a very large impact. That is something that our management, our students and all the stakeholders in the university believe. Our engagement with the community and the environment around us is imperative, and we all believe that we can bring a change. Thank you.
Hi, I am Wazim from IIT Bombay. So we have an entity called as IIT Bombay Research Hub for Green Energy and Sustainability, and I am a part of that. As you know, IIT Bombay itself is a micro community. So it's close to 500 acres. It has close to 25,000 people, including the floating community, a campus with 13,000 students and 750 plus faculty. A huge campus, a micro community which is a residential campus as well, has its own operational requirements of wastewater, energy, the people side of it, the social aspect of it and others. In that capacity, along with that, such a kind of a campus is also known for the academic side of it and also the research aspect of it. That means in the domain of sustainability, we teach sustainability in academic side. We do research, the technology and solution development, the policy side of it, and in the domain of sustainability. But now, so in this itself, there are a lot of initiatives what IIT Bombay is already doing. We have a sustainability policy. Right now I'm talking about the operational sustainability of the campus. We already have a sustainability policy released from IIT Bombay. We already have an office of sustainability that has been created with a technical officer, a sustainability officer in the campus, and the data being managed and reported in that capacity, climate action plans being prepared in that capacity, and the wastewater energy management circularity aspect of it. A few case examples would be when it comes to waste management. Campus has a 2 TPD plant, a biogas plant which is used for cooking in the hostel, and then some of the innovation converted to innovation which is put back into the campus. That is where pelletization and gasification, the entire campus garden waste converted to pellets and used through gasification, used for cooking in staff canteen, and then going to right now it is going to a hostel level and expanding level. But along with all these aspects of it, how do you build in the how do you excite the students? How do you give an opportunity for the students to have experiential learning about sustainability? That is one thing what we are focusing on right now by providing fellowships where students are taught sustainability, but also the problems given to them are relevant to the campus. They work on campus relevant problems related to sustainability along with the engineers who manage the campus operations which are there. So that is giving them an opportunity. The solution may look very simple, but they'll understand the implementation challenges associated with that. The kind of the nexus approach of sustainability which is there. So like that is one part of it which we are highly focusing. Last 1 year we have 2 cohorts of living lab program inside the campus, where this activity what I was mentioning is the living lab program, where it is campus as a test bed. What we use, 150 plus students are actively participating in this, and it is going through the second cohort. And along with this living lab program, one of the major initiatives is to convert more faculty related research piloted inside the campus. That is where I was talking about pelletization and gasification. There are multiple other researches which are trying to be piloted inside the campus. I can say that IIT Bombay as a campus, it has its sustainability already embedded, not just in the academic and research aspect of it, but also highly involved in the student and also in the operational aspect of operational sustainability of the campus as well. That's where IIT Bombay stands in that capacity.
We were representing Deshbandhu College, University of Delhi, and we were here to present the case study that Deshbandhu College has been implementing at its campus in its efforts to achieve net zero. We have some really commendable and successful initiatives that we have implemented. For example, we have a 73 kilowatt installation of the solar panels, which is providing us with around 60% of electricity savings in comparison to the bills that we were generating earlier. We also have a very robust rainwater harvesting system, and in that we have been able to, we have two 1 lakh liter capacity tanks, and annually we are able to fulfill almost our entire needs for water from those tanks, especially the water that we require for our gardens, for our washrooms, and for the sanitation purposes. We also have more than 60% green cover in our campus, and we are actively pursuing waste segregation, where we have entered into different MOUs with various waste segregation and waste conversion agencies, recycling agencies, and we are ensuring that our campus is not generating any waste which is going either unrecycled or which is adding to the pollution. Thank you.
I am representing Deshbandhu College. We are working with the alignment of government initiatives so that we can achieve net zero emission building. We have taken so much initiative that we have converted 3-acre land which was unattended, unreachable, and with a devastating situation. We have created that unattended 3-acre land into a beautiful biodiversity park, which is catering, more than 5,000 species, 5,000 plants of more than 78 species has been introduced in our campus. 28 species of the tree plant has been planted in our campus. So more than 60% area of the campus is under green cover. As Dr. Aditya told, 75 kilowatt solar panel are generating energy which has reduced 50 to 60% of the electricity consumption. We are conserving 36% of the annual rainfall, which is recharged into the groundwater, and so we are self-sufficient in water. We are requesting our faculty members, non-teaching staff members, if they want to buy vehicles, they must buy either BS6 or electric vehicle so that we can reduce the carbon footprinting. We are also awareing students that they should either pool the car, teaching and non-teaching staff and students, they should pool the car, or they should come with the public transport system so that carbon footprinting can be further reduced. So we are also planning to have our own sewerage treatment plant so that there should be no waste accumulated into the sewerage, and we can treat them in our STPs. So we are taking a lot of efforts to achieve the Government of India initiative so that we can create our own campus as a net zero emission campus. Thank you so much.